What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today it's time for the Belgian Grand Prix, round number 13 here of Season 2. And as you can see, we've got some more upgrades coming to the car in the form of a brand new engine. So this is the final power unit upgrade that's going to be applied to the car, an increase in 8 brake horsepower. And that's definitely going to come in handy coming into a track like Spa, and especially when we get to the next round in Monza. So as you can see there, lots of upgrades going on the Renault, Force India. I saw a McLaren getting upgrades as well. And in the last episode, Red Bull got a fair share of upgrades going their way too. So here we are for the Belgian Grand Prix. You can see we've got some heavy rain to start off this weekend in Friday Practice 1. And just getting a feel for things. This is my very first lap doing the track acclimatization test. It was very, very tricky to not only get a feeler of the conditions, but get a feeler of the game again, because when you jump into the game when it's like heavy rain, it really chucks you in the deep end. But we managed to negotiate through our very first lap of Spa and get a purple lap time, not a purple lap time, but a purple score and another 50 resource points. After I did the track acclimatization test, the track dried out, we chucked on some intermediates, and we decided to do the qualifying pace run. At the top of our Rouge, we lost the back end though, and we actually crashed. And we punctured the left-hand side of the intermediate tyres there. And that was the end of our session there. Just getting over the top of our Rouge in a bit too quick, maybe not as much grip on the curb, and it sent us into a bit of a slide, and we tried to catch it, but we ran out of room to save it there. Flying into the Fly Emirates board, that's some good advertisement there, but that was the end of our session there, and really disappointing as well, because there is set to be some more rain over the course of the weekend. I believe in qualifying there's going to be more rain, so I was disappointed to end my session very early there. But this is practice 2. I did all the dry running, I did the tyre wear test, now the qualifying run once again, and we managed to get purple with both of those. So another 100 points to add to the research and development. And yeah, we showed pretty good pace in practice, I must say. So that's the end of practice now. It's time for qualifying.
It's qualifying time at Spa, one of the mightiest tracks on the Formula One calendar. Long straights, up and downhill, Eau Rouge as well. This track isn't for the faint-hearted.
Just listen to how heavy it's raining out there. It's absolutely ridiculous. So here we are for qualifying now. Luckily for us, the rain is set to get lighter as the session goes on. And as you can see, everyone is out there on intermediate tyres with 5 minutes left to go. So I just waited it out, waited for the track conditions to get better. Didn't really see any point in going out early and wasting a set of wet, so I waited till the end of the session, put on a set of intermediate tyres. It's only qualifying 1, to be honest, so we only need to beat the likes of the Saubers, the Haas cars, you know, fairly easy cars to out-qualify, especially in these conditions where the AI can sometimes be a little bit inconsistent when it comes to these wet weather sessions. So we negotiate our Rouge properly for the first time in intermediate conditions. The last time we went through there, of course, we did crash, so I was really happy to get that monkey off my back there. So this is by no means a stunning lap. I'm just like trying to get a safe one in, just trying to get myself through to the next qualifying session. When I looked at the forecast, it did say that the rain was going to dissipate even further and further away, so we could see some possibly dry running at the end of qualifying 2, and then definitely some dry running in qualifying 3. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting kind of qualifying session where you want to just set laps right at the end of the session when it gets quicker. So we get to the end of qualifying 1. I ended up getting in 2 laps there, so that was pretty beneficial to us. The second lap put me inside the top 5 and out-qualified my teammate in the first part of qualifying. Once again, just like in qualifying 1, I waited out to the very end of the session, and sure enough, the dry conditions, the rain went away, and yeah, the dry tyres have come out. I've elected to qualify on the soft compound tyres because I want to start the race on this compound. I've talked about this in the past, that the super soft tyre, especially at this track, really isn't useful at all when it comes to race trim. Like, they literally only last 4 laps, and when you come into a Grand Prix, you don't want to be running a stint that only goes 4 laps. I think it's a bit of a waste. So we're going to start on the soft compound tyres. That's, of course, if we can make it through to qualifying 3 on this lap, of course. But hopefully we can do that. I feel like with the engine upgrade, it's just given us that little bit more of a boost towards maybe being the quickest car. But we end up in 6th place at the end of qualifying 2. Pascal Wehrlein gets top of the session there, and that is really, really encouraging heading into qualifying 3. We still don't really know what our overall true pace is yet because we haven't done conclusive running. We haven't had a true opportunity to really show our pace just yet because we haven't used the super soft tires. But now we're definitely going to get a feeler of that now as we've got 2 brand new sets of super soft tires to utilize in qualifying 3. So here we go, first lap. This is a banker, and we go pole position with a 1 minute 45.535. Verstappen second, Ricciardo third, and Vettel in 4th place. I think Wehrlein is in 5th, but at the end of the session, we used the free set of super soft tires that are given to us in the allocation. So we're going to do whatever we can to try and secure pole position for today's race. We're 3 tenths up, but we run wide through Pouon there. Cost us about 2 tenths. I haven't got a pole position yet in the entirety of this F1 2016 career mode. I would really love to get one today at this Belgian Grand Prix. What a place to get it. Through the bus stop and the final chicane. It's kind of a chicane if you look at it in a certain way, but through the final corner, open the DRS. I think that might just be enough. We've got pole for the Belgian Grand Prix, and yeah, what a place to do it. I'm so happy with that. 4 tenths was the difference back to Max Verstappen. First pole of my entire career mode, and it's a very, very dominant one with Pascal Wehrlein. I don't know, not really performing there. Ended up in P5 there. He really could have got a lot closer to me than 1.2 seconds, but I'll take it. The pace is there heading into this Belgian Grand Prix. We're going to be starting on the soft compound tyres, a luxury that no one else inside the top 10 is going to have. So it's going to give us lots of flexibility heading into the race. We could possibly get away with doing one less stop. We can be much more consistent. Overall, I think it's just going to reduce the traffic that we run in the race. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how our strategy is going to play out. Ultimately, race pace and keeping up your speed is always going to be the dominant factor to deciding who wins most F1 Grand Prix. So without further ado, that's the end of qualifying. It's time now for the race, the Belgian Grand Prix.
Who doesn't love the Belgian Grand Prix? It's the race, of course, that gave maiden pole positions to the Jordan and Force India teams, with Rubens Barrichello and Giancarlo Fisichella respectively. Jordan, of course, would then go on to better that here in 1998 with their first ever victory. And you can guarantee that something special will always happen at Spa-Francorchamps. But what that something is today is anybody's guess.
Okay, remember to protect the inside on the run down to turn 1. Make yourself as wide as possible, robust but fair.
So here we are on the grid of the Belgian Grand Prix, starting from pole position. First time in the entirety of this career mode series we've managed to actually achieve this feat, so it's a pretty momentous occasion for us. It'd be perfect to go on and win this race if we can. We have set up the car with low downforce in order for us to do that, and we've gone for the soft compound tyre as well in an effort to make the race a little bit more flexible for us. So as always, what we're going to do is lower the fuel load, because especially if there's a safety car, we just don't want that extra fuel to get on the car. So we're going to be burning off a lot of fuel and maintaining a very fast pace over the course of this Grand Prix. So yeah, like the race strategy, we're going on to softs for the next stint and then finishing on the mediums. And hopefully that is the winning strategy. I just want a nice, simple race for this Belgian Grand Prix, and hopefully we can get it.
Okay, here's who we're really fighting today. Ricciardo and Vettel.
I quite often say this, when I come to every single Belgian Grand Prix, I always really look forward to the first lap, going up our Rouge, trying to gain as many positions as I can, but today, it's a bit of a different scenario. We're going to be the one with everything to lose in this race, so more than anything, I need an amazing start, and I need to bridge that gap as soon as we get to our Rouge, because it's going to be on this first lap. The slipstream is going to be so real. So here we go, ready for the Belgian Grand Prix, one of my favourite races on the entire calendar. 5 red lights, and away we go for this race. I missed the start initially, but the getaway was actually pretty decent. We're going to lead comfortably heading into turn 1. Pascal is going 3 wide there, and it might be a matter 1-2 No, he can't get the traction to get himself into second place there. So Ricciardo and Wehrlein second and third, and I think Verstappen might be in P4. We're heading up our Rouge for the first time. It was a little bit scrappy, I must say. I didn't get the straightest run up there. Now we're going to move to the inside, block the slipstream, and let the engine do its work. We're running with a lower downforce setup for this race. I think it's 5 full wings. If I haven't mentioned already, I'm using TRL Limitless as a setup for Spa, with a few adjustments to the camber and also just the front suspension to look after the front tyres. Fastest lap of the race, 4:10 is the difference from myself to Ricciardo. I was kicking myself in the last race that I didn't break DRS within the first 3 laps, so you're not going to see any more talking unless Ricciardo overtakes me. I would like to break that 1 second and just romp away with this race. So for the next couple laps, I'm going to try and do so.
DRS is now enabled and will be available to use when you are within 1 second of the car ahead in the DRS zone.
I'll tell you what, I'm so close to breaking away, especially with Pascal now on the attack.
If a storm front does appear, then we'll let you know.
Thank you for stating the obvious, engineer. I did check the forecast before the race started, so cheers, buddy. I don't know, maybe it's a little bit unrealistic to ask myself to break out a 1 second lead, pull away from the Red Bulls through the corners when I'm on a harder compounder tyre and I don't have any slipstream myself. I don't know, but maybe I'll just have to play the waiting game.
Pascal has come into the pits. Pascal in the pits now.
And as you can see, we're setting purple sectors while the AI are diving into the pits for new tyres. So yeah, definitely the right strategy call. Hopefully, yeah, it can give us some flexibility later on. Verstappen and Raikkonen now second and third. I need to push. We'll judge how the tyre wear is when we get to lap 6. There's a yellow flag in the first sector. Safety car. Oh no.
To keep it positive to avoid a penalty. Slow down. Maintain positive delta.
Damn it.
We think there's a viable strategy change available to us. Would you like to keep to the current plan or try the new one?
See, that's just thrown my strategy completely out the window. This would have been a really good strategy. This would have been a really good scenario if I start on the softs, the super softs. Engineer, can you shut up? I can't think with you talking. Alright, I think I know what I'm gonna do. I have to take advantage of the safety car being out. We're going to essentially stick to the same strategy we're running at the moment, going on to soft compound tyres and then finishing on the mediums. I'm just hoping that under the safety car we're going to get a free few laps that there won't be any tyre wear with, so hopefully that can stretch this current set of tyres to where we need to get them anyway if the safety car didn't come out. But we're going to rejoin in the lead of the race still, so that is still a free pit stop, and I'll definitely take that.
Safety car now. Do not pass it. You are the leader. Follow the safety car.
That was a bit dodgy. So I think pretty much everyone has made a pit stop. That was definitely the right way to go in terms of strategy. And because of that, Verstappen has been a huge winner. He stopped under safety car. Alonso has now got himself in a third place, but I honestly don't know if he's made a pit stop yet. Let's actually check the race director just to understand what's going on with this race. So we have Daniel Kvyat, who hasn't stopped yet. So Fernando, no stop. Gutierrez, no stop. So Kimi is effectively third. Then we got Massa and Rosberg, who qualified way down the order. Then Wehrlein, who is on the soft compound tyres. Jensen on mediums. Where is Ricciardo? That is the question. Oh, Ricciardo's in P6 and on the soft compound tyres. So Ricciardo is fairly close. He's got a few cars to overtake there, but yeah, it's very interesting to see how it's going to shake out now. I've got 1 lap fresher tyres. So from here on in, essentially everyone has been dragged onto the same strategy now. It's essentially a sprint race for the next 17 laps to see who can yeah, finish first. I'm guessing everyone's going to go into mediums in the next stint, so that kind of levels the playing field a bit. It's always a very relaxing time under the safety car. There's absolutely no noise. You can barely hear anything. I'm going so slow as well because I'm curating the engine, keeping it in absolutely low revs. We've gone from being -1 lap down on fuel
Safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap.
To +1 in terms of fuel. So that's why I like to underfuel the car, because like if we run with additional fuel with the current fuel burning fuel efficiency that we have now, we would have ended up with like +3, +4 laps of fuel. The car would have been so heavy and we wouldn't have been able to recover that for the rest of the race, so that definitely would have cost us. So we now control the pace here, and I think we have to wait until we get to the braking zone of the bus stop before we can go. So I'm going to get this back in rich revs, and I'm going to go now. Still yellow flags. Wait for the green flag, and then we can fully go racing. And yeah, I don't care, like, as soon as the green flag comes out, engineer comes over the radio telling me about other drivers. But that's been a beautiful restart. We've left Verstappen absolutely napping here, and I think already we would have broken that 1 second DRS window. So we've got Alonso in third place, backing up the pack as well. So I'm going to absolutely try and burn as much fuel as I can, create a gap, and see where that takes us. And this is the period of, oh no, I was just going to say, this is the period of the race where engine failures will be happening. This surely can't be an engine failure. It's got to be some kind of crash. Oh yes, there is. The Toro Rosso. Oh no, Valtteri Bottas has gone rolling. It's been a while since I've seen an F1 car roll. Oh, that is brutal. Oh man. Upside down. That's such weird contact as well. I mean, just the way that this car reacted to when it hit the Toro Rosso. So he's made contact with, I'm guessing, Sebastian Vettel. And then Toro Rosso hits the inside tyre bundle. And then they make nose-to-nose contact. No? Rear-end contact. Yeah, and then Bottas's car just kind of goes in the ground there. The other Toro Rosso goes airborne as well. And that was all she wrote for Valtteri Bottas's race. Oh, Hamilton has collected him as well, so there's going to be implications for that. Possibly lost a bit of his front wing, might need to make another pit stop there. So we've lost Valtteri Bottas. I think the Toro Rosso is still fine to continue in this race, but due to the timing of that crash, because the safety car has just come out, there's absolutely not going to be another safety car. The game doesn't like doing back-to-back safety cars.
We're considering switching to an alternate strategy. Do you want to change or stick to plan A?
There's nothing wrong with the strategy we've got now. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's the exact same strategy, you melon.
Copy that.
Here's Daniel Ricciardo. This is an overtake for second place. He got around Verstappen. He's got around Raikkonen now. And he's into second place in this Grand Prix. Pascal, if you scroll down, he's actually in, is it 4th or 5th place now as well. So those two guys are on an absolute mission. Ooh, fastest lap. That's exactly what I needed. I started pushing because I'm getting ready to switch on to medium tyres. Because Ricciardo and Wehrlein on the previous lap put on their mediums. But my tyres are still really decent. Like, look at the tyre condition, 28%. Like, they're all under 30, so, oh no, that's not going to help the tyre wear too much. But when they get closer to 40, I'll put in and put on the mediums. Alright, so 36% on the front right tyre. This is going to be the last lap on the soft compound tyres. So I'm going to push now and pit at the end of this lap.
Ricardo behind. The gap behind us is 20.7 seconds. They're on fresh mediums.
Okay.
The time last lap was a 1 minute 48.9.
Tell you what, it's going to be very close between myself and Ricciardo for the lead of this race. I've stretched out my tyres an extra 2, maybe 3 laps. And for the rest of this race, we shouldn't need to worry about tyre wear all too much. I was going really fast on the soft compound tyres while those guys were on medium. So fingers crossed, we can at least emerge in the lead and have a second's lead over Daniel Ricciardo, who then sets the fastest lap of the race. So very good timing. And we emerge a few seconds in front. Exactly what I needed. Yep, fastest lap of the race. We're done here, guys. Side by side through Lake Com and through the exit. It was just constant place swapping I saw on the leaderboards, and that's probably going to allow Wehrlein to catch up as well. So the battle for second and third definitely isn't over. But I'll tell you what is over though, is the battle for the lead of this Belgian Grand Prix. We're going to come home comfortably, win this race from pole position. We controlled this thing from start to finish. It's been a welcome change to do something like this, but it's a victory in Spa. So it's a victory again for the little team called Manor, and we've taken out the Belgian Grand Prix. Ricciardo home in second place, Raikkonen in third as well to complete the podium. I gotta say, it was really good drives from both Ricciardo and Wehrlein, who stopped under green flag racing, whereas literally most of the field stopped under yellows there, under safety car. They did really well to come back, despite having older tyres and losing out in the pit stop phases to finish both second and fourth. Very good drives from those guys there. Lewis Hamilton started in 20th position for this Belgian Grand Prix, and I think Rosberg started really low down the order as well. He started from 16th. Could only make his way up to 12th. Possibly he got screwed over in the traffic, or maybe even in the safety car there. But another victory that extends our margin at the top of the driver's standings to 21 points over Daniel Ricciardo, and Wehrlein moves to third place in the standings as well. And for the first time ever, we've not conceded any damage at all to our car, running with simulation damage. So over the course of every single race in this career mode series, I've either made contact with something, but today I've managed to refrain from that, and it was really just the perfect race. Simple as that. Constructors standings, again, we've etched out the lead a little bit, 23 points back to Red Bull Racing, who have made themselves quicker coming into this race with some R&D and upgrades. So it's been a really impressive performance despite that. Resource points, yes, we're over 1,000 now, and I think we can do that final drag reduction upgrade as well. So that has been this episode for today, guys. The Belgian Grand Prix. I think this is part number 34 in this career mode series for F1 2016. We've earned another trophy, and yes, we can do the drag reduction update, which we've only just cleared, and that's going to go on the car just in time for the Italian Grand Prix. It's going to be an absolute slipstream fest. You can see what the gap is back to Red Bull, so it's quite a sizable advantage that they have over us in terms of car pace. So the fact that we won this race, despite those upgrades, is really, really impressive, although this is a track where Red Bull aren't supposed to go so strong. So in the final 9 races of this championship, it's going to be awfully tough to beat those 2 Red Bull cars. So we've got to take these wins, get these points whenever we can, because the final half of this season is definitely going to be really, really tough. So that's been this video for today. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more F1 2016 videos, and until the next race, the Italian Grand Prix, I'll see you guys next time.